Hey everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable, the podcast. Monday, da, 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 January 20th. Da, 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 da. The Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. Da, 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 da. Daddy had picked to Daddy picked Eagles Chiefs to meet in the Super Bowl before the season. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Daddy won $1,400. Daddy, being. And after the Eagles beat the Chiefs in 2 weeks, Daddy's going to win another $2,500 because Daddy, in his infinite wisdom, picked the Eagles to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl way back on August the 31st. Daddy is amazing. Well, I'll tell you what. I knew the Commanders lost that game early. First drive, Commanders, 18 play drive. It took 7-8 minutes. And they whipped out there. You got a field goal out of that. Once that happened, I said, that's it. They're done. They're done. They went for it, but once or twice on fourth down to keep going, to keep that drive going. They get down inside the 20-yard line, inside the red zone, and they have another fourth down, and they whip out. They take the field goal. Well, I said, that's it. That's it. Might as well cancel the game right now. Might as well just, give it to the Eagles because the Commanders aren't going to win it. To win a championship game like that, you have to score touchdowns. Feel it. Can you feel the Jacksons? Feel it. So when they did score the touchdown, I said, they're done. And as it turned out, look at the Eagles scored 55 freaking points. 55. The most points anyone has ever scored in a championship game. 55. The big 5. Saquon Barkley, first play the Eagles have on offense, runs for a 60-yard touchdown. So, Commanders have the ball, 18 plays, score 3 points. Eagles, 1 play, 7 points. That told you all there was to know about that freaking game, right? The Eagles just had too many weapons for them. Jalen Hurts, he may have been playing a little possum in it, because he looked pretty good. He was running around pretty good. Saquon Barkley, of course, he's got that calf problem, but he looked great. And AJ Brown, remember I told you AJ Brown was going to come out of his doldrums, and he did. Over 90 yards receiving, touchdown, AJ Brown. 6 catches. Dallas Goedert had a good game. Devontae Smith was okay. Wow. The Eagles just overwhelmed them. The other key was turnovers. Washington kept shooting themselves in the foot. And as we talk about all the time on the show, turnovers. That is the key, especially when you're in a championship game like that. You can't afford to turn the ball over. Eagles, no turnovers, 0. Zippo turnovers. The key to winning. As I said, Saturday, Friday, whatever, when I was last on. Washington's a good team. They're just not a great team. They're not an Eagles class here. The reason they won against Washington a few weeks ago was because Jalen Hurts got concussed. Don't forget, the Eagles were up 21-0 in the first quarter of the game. Hurts got hurt, out of the game. Washington came back. Commanders are good. They're just not ready yet. They're going to be really good in a few years. The thing about Washington is this: the people out there watching who are Washington fans, well, better than Dallas fans. But you have hope because you now have, listen to me, $87 million off the books. You have $87 million in cap space to play with this offseason. If you draft wisely and you spend that money wisely, you can build your team, build your roster just like the Eagles. So let's see what Washington does. But I mean, to me, with Jaden Daniels, having a quarterback is the key. Having a quarterback, you got to have a quarterback. You have to. And to me, Washington is the main competition, is going to be the main competition in the NFC East for years to come. Forget about the Giants. They have too far to go. Forget about Dallas. As long as Jerry Jones is running the show down there, they're not going to win. So the Eagles are going to be good for the foreseeable future because they built their team that way. But Washington's the main competition, and it's going to be that way for a few years. They just weren't ready. I mean, think about it. The Commanders coming into Philadelphia, into our stadium, close to 70,000 people, nuts, just going nuts in that stadium. I mean, did you really think the Commanders? Come on, Jesus. So, it's one thing, on paper, the Eagles look like a better team, but they got to go out and do it. And they did it. The Eagles crushed them, as we said last week. The Eagles are on a mission. They are on a mission to not only get back to the Super Bowl, which they've succeeded in doing, but winning the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm kind of glad how it played out that they're playing the Chiefs. This is redemption. If you need any kind of motivation in the Super Bowl, I shouldn't be playing professional football. But this is just a little added boost for the Eagles because they can get their revenge from 2 years ago when they lost to Kansas City. And frankly, if you remember that game, I will talk a lot more about the Super Bowl in the next 13 days. If you remember that game, the Eagles were up. They were winning at halftime. They were up in that game, and they just blew it. They choked in the second half. It's nice not to have James Bradbury in the second half. Eagles have a better team. I mean, they're just more solid all around. Defense, especially. They have more weapons offensively. They're just better. Nick Sirianni is more experienced. He has better assistants helping him. They're just a better overall team than they were 2 years ago. And I don't know if you could say that about Kansas City. Kansas City, to their credit, has gotten back to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row. They're going for the three-peat. As they're saying out there, the chief peat. Oh my God. They're turning into the most hated team, other than the people who live out in the Midwest and Taylor Swift fans. I don't think anybody's going to be rooting for the Chiefs, are you? And it's not just because the Chiefs are the Chiefs. The fact is, nobody likes a winner who wins too much. I mean, think about it. There really are no dynasties in sports anymore. Really, this Chiefs run is really the only dynasty in sports that we've had since the early 2000s, when the Lakers dominated, the Patriots dominated. That's really it. So, people, even when I was growing up, you just don't like UCLA used to win every single freaking year of college basketball. Every year under John Wooden. Well, he had a lot of great players. Lou Alcindor, who turned into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then he had Bill Walton. A lot of great players, but they won every single year. And the thing is, people started really disliking them because they won too much. Nobody who likes a team that's like a dynasty, you always want to knock that team off. And I remember when UCLA finally lost two memorable. Well, the loss I remember was that they went to Notre Dame and Notre Dame beat them. Austin Carr, remember Austin Carr? Beat them and ended a long, long winning streak by UCLA. That's how the Chiefs are now. I mean, it was okay when they first started out. Give Andy Reid credit. He went to Kansas City and he turned that program around. And Kansas City sucked before Andy Reid got there. I don't know if you remember that or not, but they were terrible. And then Andy Reid got there and then he drafted Patrick Mahomes, to his credit, because he had to move up in the draft to get Mahomes. And he did, and that just turned everything around. But we're at the point now where enough is enough. Now, I felt really bad for Buffalo because here's Buffalo. They haven't been back to the Super Bowl 30 years. 30. And they haven't won a Super Bowl at all. And I feel kind of bad for them because they keep getting to the edge. They keep getting there, but they can't get over the hump. And this is their time because Josh Allen is like MVP Josh Allen. Buffalo I think they definitely need to get more weapons. They need to get more big time receivers for Josh Allen to throw to. I mean, you could see Josh Allen was doing all he could do there in that game, and his receivers were letting them down. They weren't getting open and dropping passes. So Buffalo, if you're going to do anything this offseason, get the man some help. Get him some wide receivers. So, I think most of the country, if not most of the world, is going to be rooting for the Eagles in 2 weeks. Now, the Eagles have certain reputation, especially Eagle fans, like myself. As being bad fans, cursing, don't come into our stadium, blah, blah. Well, some of them do. But you can find that anywhere. I mean, look, if you go out to LA, they beat you up there. They kill you in parking, right? New York, there's people there, didn't go there. Football chairs there, right? So we all have our big. Well, Philadelphia fans just get a bad reputation. What we are the most loyal, passionate fans and intelligent fans. We understand our sports. We know when a player is dogging it. We know when the team sucks. We know that. And we let them know. We let them know. So does that make us bad fans? No. It makes us good fans because we travel well. Watch how many Eagle fans will be down in the rooms, right? I bet you a lot more than Kansas City fans. And it's really expensive. Tickets are like $4,900 a piece. And it's like you're spending like a couple thousand, $800 round trip to get down there and back, and you can't find a hotel room, You may have to go 40 miles outside of New Orleans to find a hotel room. I know the Eagles are offering a package, $10,000. You'll get tickets to the game, you'll get a hotel, you get a 3-night stay down there, you get the transportation, everything. $10,000. Now, if you got the money, that's great. Because how many times did the Eagles get to the Super Bowl? Well, this is the second time in 3 years, but we don't know if that's what happened. Okay? You don't know. So you take the opportunity while it's there, uh, so my point is that the Eagles fans are loyal fans. Hey, we're there. The thing about other fan bases, you made it great, but a lot of them, let's face it, are bandwagon jumpers. They are bandwagon jumpers. They're there during the good times, but where are they during the bad times, right? I mean, did he still go out to the games when their teams stink? Philadelphia fans, dude, when is the last time you saw the league empty? When is the last time you saw Citizens Bank Park empty? I mean, the Phillies haven't won a World Series since 2008, and yet it's hard to get tickets to the Phillies, right? 76 and what talking about that. But the Sixers suck, and we know it. We know it. We as Philadelphia fans know that they suck. So we're gonna have a lot to talk about in the weeks to come. Let me tell you. Not only will we break down the game, the big game coming up, but we got a lot to talk about. And all the side stuff going on, the side bets. We'll talk about the prop bets. We'll talk about all parties going on down there in New Orleans. Saying that, Travis Kelce sort of choked yesterday, didn't he? Yeah, he usually steps up at big games. Not yesterday. Where was he? Jeez. Taylor Swift showed up more than Travis Kelce did. She was there. Where was Travis Kelce? I don't know if he was even there. But then you got the Patrick Mahomes, your Andy Reid, the big on the commercials, But if they would look at it this way, they would again, more power to 3P. It's terribly hard to do. And then what do they say? To the winner goes the spoilers, right? So they're going to get more commercials. I said it last year. Well, you might as well just get a Kansas City cheap cable chain stream. Just have all Kansas City cheap material all day long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And in between, you get the commercials. Travis Kelce, he's on everything. And Patrick Mahomes, he's everywhere too. And Andy Reid too. So, but this is the time, this is the chance for the Eagles to stop on that bullshit. Pardon my language. Stop it right there. Cut the head off the snake. And that's why I'm kind of glad that Buffalo will get it, because Eagles need their revenge here. They need to get that bad taste out of them from their loss 2 years ago. So cut the head off the snake, kill the snake, right? And we become world champions. So, we can talk about history. What can you say? What can you say? The Eagles just put the hammer down. Did you have any doubt at all that the Eagles were going to win that game? And especially after the game started, right? I mean, to me, they didn't use Saquon Barkley enough. I mean, he ripped off that big run, first play for the Eagles. And after that, he just sort of, I know he had the problem with the calf, but they sort of held him back a little bit. I know they wanted A.J. Brown to get involved. Smith got arrested. And so even though they scored 55 points, to me, it seemed like the Eagles were sort of playing with their food, like the Commanders were with their mashed potatoes. They were moving the mashed potatoes around to cover up the peas. Did you ever do that when you were a kid? Anyway, so it's going to be a good game against Kansas City. How can it not be? Kansas City, incredibly, they have won something like 17 games in that were one-score games. Incredible. I mean, anything within a touchdown or a field goal, Kansas City is going to win. And the thing is, they know how to win. That's the key. Some teams, they don't know how to win. You could say Buffalo's in that category, the Baltimore. Baltimore's got all the talent in the world. Do they know how to win? No, they could win in one season. And my thought is, you're not going to beat the Chiefs until this reign is over with Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey. You're not going to beat the Chiefs in a playoff game at Kansas City. It's just not going to happen because they have crazy fans. They have a home field advantage. And let's face that. I'm not saying the games are fixed, but they seem to get the calls at home. They do. They do. And they know how to work the referees, and they just know how to do it. They have a lot of experience. You got to give it to them. I think if you're going to beat the Chiefs, and certainly I think the Eagles will beat the Chiefs in 2 weeks, but if you're going to stop the Chiefs from getting to the Super Bowl, you got to do it in the regular season. And what I mean is, the Chiefs are on a roll like the Patriots were. The Patriots used to win, used to have home field advantage every year in the NFC. And that was big because they would play in New England and they were used to the snow, used to the cold, and they would get in teams coming in there like the Miami Dolphins, who they're a warm weather team. They're not used to that. And it would help. It would help. So that's why, along with Tom Brady, that helped the Patriots get back to the Super Bowl again and again and again. And that's what's happening with the Chiefs. If you want to stop the Chiefs' reign in the AFC, you got to beat them in the regular season. You got to make sure they don't have home field advantage. Make the Chiefs come to you. Now, the Chiefs did that last year. Went to Buffalo, beat Buffalo, and then they went to Baltimore, and they beat Baltimore. Oh, the Chiefs are just a better team. But I think on the whole, if you're gonna break the stranglehold that the Chiefs have over the AFC, you got to do it during the regular season. You got to make sure they don't get home field advantage. That's what you got to do. One last thing before I go, and again, I'll be back tomorrow to talk much, much more about the Eagles, about the Super Bowl. And as we get into next week, we're going to talk about the game itself, like we've been doing. We're going to break it down and talk about bets and props and all kinds of things. And listen to Daddy because Daddy knows. But I don't think I got to say, this is something I do. It just so happens that Saquon Barkley's birthday falls on Super Bowl Sunday. Now, we know if you watch my show, and I've been on for I've done 480 episodes now. Wouldn't it be something if my 500th episode fell on Super Bowl Sunday? It's possible. The stars align, the stars, some things are just meant to be. But anyway, Saquon Barkley, athletes tend to perform better on the birthday. We saw that with Bryce Harper when it was his birthday, I guess last year. Hit a home run on his birthday. Athletes do better when they have a monumental event in their life. Jalen Hurts got engaged on the Friday before they played the Falcons at home. Jalen Hurts scores a touchdown. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. So, not that Saquon Barkley wasn't going to have a big game anyway against the Chiefs, but it's his birthday. He turns 28 years old, and I think he's going to have even a bigger game. It's not me, it's the stars. It's the stars. They're doing it, and God And the Stars want the Eagles to win the Super Bowl this year. There it is. There it is. Oh, hey, it's not it. All right, everybody. Well, peace and love, everybody. Hey, before I go, how can I forget? How can I forget? Patriots say that there's 5 podcasts. Let me get my fingers out of his face. But there he is. That was one of his birthdays. You see his birthday scarf. And his cake. Not a real cake. Not a real candle. It's not. And look how happy he is, huh? But our friend. We miss you, and we love you, my friend. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow and every day this week and next week as we celebrate together EAGLESU. Go Birds, fly and slide. Peace and love. See you tomorrow. Bye.